What I thought I might do for the next few videos is a series of videos on some of my favourite bands with maybe a bit more talking and less guitar. There'll be some guitar, maybe. And anyone who's watched any of my videos will know who my favourite bands are. Derringer, Lizzie, Wishbone. Of newer bands, Trigger Hippie, the Stones, Gary Moore. But one of my absolute favourite bands of all time is these guys, Mott the Hoople. And maybe they're just interesting or maybe they're more interesting to me because I'm a super fan. But I think they're a really interesting band. For one, they kind of define, for me, what it is to be a cult band. So I thought I'd just do some videos just talking about, the Ballad of Mott the Hoople, if you like. It's thought there's very little footage of them, but if you get this film, it's actually quite a lot. There's all the top of the pop stuff. There's this fantastic book written by a guy called Campbell Devine, who sounds like he would live quite close to me, relatively speaking. That's a great book, and it's got all the anecdotes and all the history of the band. Now, the very first Mott album is this. It's I don't know if you can see it there, but it's got a fantastic cover of these like lizards, and on the back it's got an alligator eating its own tail. I don't like that so much. These early albums, the first stage of Mott the Hoople is 4 albums, starting with this one. That's quite a good best of, although a better best of, I would say, is an album called Rock and Roll Queen that I've only ever seen on vinyl, and it's got a white cover, 3 Vargas girls in the cover. Maybe it's just got a better cover, but that's called Mott the Hoople, The Island Years. So that's like the first 4 albums. Now this is the first one, and Mott started proceedings by playing a straight down the line version of and they played it like that rather than we tend to, you tend to hear bands play it like today. They played it like the Kinks with that. But it's an instrumental, and Mick Ralph played it. That's an instrumental. That album, by the way, the debut, you can tell that they were bound for great things because it's got this is Rock and Roll Queen, and it's got that great there's A chord, the C note, D, C, E. The adjuster. Right. So that's the first song. The second one's called Mad Shadows. Again, it's produced by Guy Stevens, who is one of the greatest quotes of all time. I'm going to tell you that quote, right? There are only 2 Phil Spectors in the world, and I'm one of them. Right? You can read up about his production techniques and who Guy Stevens was and stuff at will. He produced the first 2. They did the third one, Wildlife. And the first one is regarded as, Bob Dylan meets the Stones, and you can see why. It's got Ian Hunter's very introspective piano songs, and it's got the rock and roll songs too. The third album, Wildlife, goes into what could only be called as a West Coast country rock thing, and stuff like It Must Be Love and Pedal Steel and stuff. But it also has a very prolonged version of Little Richard's Keep a Knockin'. You keep a knockin'. It's just got the 2 chords in it. You keep it knocking, but you can't come in. Mad Shadows, by the way, has a song called When My Mind Is Gone that is as dark as a very, very dark thing. That's 3 down. The 4th one was the first Mott the Hoople album I owned. and it's called Brain Capers. It's thought by some people, like super fans, Mick Jones and the Clash and Chris Needs, to, if you like, have heralded punk. Because you quite often hear people say about Mott the Hoople, Mott are the missing link between rock and roll and punk rock. And you know, I can see where that comes from. Brain Capers is like a sonic assault. Quite hard one to find on CD, but it is like a sonic assault. It's got the song titles, The Moon Upstairs, The Wheel of the Quivering Meat Conception, yeah, that's a real song, Death May Be Your Santa Claus. It's also got Darkness, Darkness. Now, after Brain Capers, I think they went to Switzerland and they decided, this is a well-told story, probably not, to call it a day. And Pete Overend Watts, who's always called Overend, had gone to audition for David Bowie's Spiders of Mars, and David Bowie had said, aren't you in Mott the Hoople? He said, well, you know, I think we're packing, and I'm paraphrasing, but that's the gist of it. And David Bowie said something along the lines of, no, you can't, you're one of my favourite bands, I will write a song for you. And in part 2, I'll tell you what that song was and what it wasn't.